The 1925 Hilldale Giants had two great catchers on their roster. The man that is in the back row on the right-hand side is Louis Santop. He was the starting catcher before 1925 for the Hilldale Daisies. And the man third from the left, Biz Mackey, became the starting catcher in 1925. Both men were large men from Texas. Louis Santop was, in the 1910s, one of the first black superstars. He was the main catcher for Smokey Joe Williams, Cannonball Dick Redding. Played in teams mostly around the New York area, the New York Lincoln Giants and the New York Stars. Played for a couple other teams. In the 1910s, he was a home run hitter. Sometimes he was called Big Bertha because of his prodigious blast, and he was known to call his shots on occasion. There was one time when a lady was harassing him and was saying, "Hey, Louis Santop, you're going to strike out." She kept saying that while he was on deck waiting the bat. He just pointed to the right field fence as though he was going to hit a home run, and finally got up, walked over to her, and stuck $1 in the fence between them, and told her that, "I bet you $1 I hit a home run." He went up there and he hit the home run, rounded the bases, and went back and collected his money from the lady. Santop did have one unfortunate thing happen to him in the 1924 Negro League World Series against Kansas City Monarchs. In the ninth inning of the last game, he muffed a foul pop-up that allowed the Monarchs to score 2 runs and win the World Championship. He was broke up on that, seriously broke up about that. He even cried. His manager came down hard on him, and in the next year, he was not the starting catcher any longer. And this was at pretty much the end of his career, though he played as a reserve for a couple more years. But Biz Mackey got his start as the regular catcher for the Hilldale Giants in 25. And he's generally known to be the greatest defensive Negro League catcher ever. He was quick, he had good hands, very good at throwing out base runners, did it from the squat most often, much like Benito Santiago and Johnny Bench in modern times. Biz Mackey also was a good hitter. He was a line drive hitter. Didn't hit a lot of home runs, but he hit 325 or 335 over his career. And against white major league competition, he hit 327. Biz Mackey went on to become a great Negro League manager, influencing some Hall of Fame careers, including Monty Irvin's and Larry Doby's and Roy Campanella's career. He's the man who suggested to Larry Doby to change center field when he went to the white major leagues. That worked out really well. He's also the man who mentored and taught Roy Campanella all he knew as catcher, and gave Biz Mackey always the credit for his success in the major leagues. Hello, everybody. This is Apba Brian and Apba Baseball Classics, bringing to you game number 93 of the All-Time Greats Tournament. And this is the first game of the series between the 1925 Hilldale Daisies hosting the 1946 Newark Eagles. This game will be played with basic Apba. We don't have the steal rating, so basic on the stealing, though I give the catchers a chance to throw the runners out based on their defensive ratings. Game was played at Baker Bowl, Negro League's site Seamheads says that the Hilldale Daisies played their 1925 games at Baker Bowl in Philadelphia. And Baker Bowl was the first structured steel stadium in America. Here's your starting lineups very quickly. First for the Newark Eagles, Pat Patterson at leadoff, played third base, James Wilkes in the outfield. We got Larry Doby at second base, Monty Irvin as shortstop. Leonard Pearson's the first baseman. John Cherokee Davis is going to be the right fielder. Charles Ruffin is the catcher. Bob Harvey is the left fielder. And Leonard Laniel Charlie Elbow Hooker is your pitcher. He's a grade D pitcher with no modifiers. All right, leading off for the Hilldale Daisies is Otto Briggs. He'll be playing left field. Frank Warfield is the second baseman. He's a player manager of the Hilldale Daisies. Judy Johnson at third base. Tank Carr first base. Biz Mackey is the catcher. Clint Thomas in center field. George Johnson, Debo Johnson, is in right field. Jake Stevens, the shortstop, and Ruben Blacksnake Curry, grade C and Z modifier. He's a curveball pitcher from Kansas City. Grew up at 17th and Woodland. Pat Patterson steps in the box. We're ready to play ball. One more note. Biz Mackey is the catcher for the Hilldale Daisies. He was also the manager for the 1946 Newark Eagles. He will not be managing the Eagles today. The catcher, Curry, will be managing the Eagles. I have a policy or home rule that if two teams play each other with the same player does not play in that game for both teams. All right, Pat Patterson leads off. Ruben Curry's first pitch is a 55. That's a 8 against the C. That's going to be a solid single to left field for Pat Patterson. James Seabiscuit Wilkes, fast runner at first base. 35 is a 2 balls and no strikes. Curry had a Z modifier, had good control. 1-6 is a 28. Safe at first. 6-4, Patterson's retired at second on the fielder's choice. Wilkes is a fast runner at first. Here's Larry Doby. Doby was a second baseman for the Newark Eagles. Of course, he played center field in the white major leagues. And Doby hit .339, and his infield mate at shortstop, Monty Irvin, hit .363. Here's the pitch to Larry Doby. 51 is a 8. That's going to be a single to center field, and Wilkes will go to second base. First and second, only 1 out. And then that brings up Monty Irvin, the shortstop. 26 is a 14. 2 balls and no strikes. 62 is a 39. That is a fly out to center field. Caught by Clint Thomas. The runner tags, tries to go to third. Here's the throw to third. And he is safe. So 2 outs. Runners at first and third. And Leonard Pearson doesn't get any easier for Curry. Pearson was a .310 hitter in 1946. But there are 2 outs. Here's the pitch. 22 is a hit column roll for Lenny Pearson. 36 is going to be a double. And that clears the bases. So Wilkes scores, Doby scores, and it is 2-0 Newark Eagles. Bases clearing double by Leonard Pearson. That brings up John Cherokee Davis. Let's see. Davis is 2 for 11 in the tournament. He has a home run and 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch. 51 is a 8. And that is a single over second. Scoring Pearson. $3-0 Newark. All the runs are earned. Here is Charles Ruffin. 36 is a pop out to the third baseman, Judy Johnson. That ends the inning. Score is 3-0. Hilldale Daisies coming to bat. Where the pitching rotations go in the all-time greats tournament is if the team in the second round took 3 games to win their first round series, then they got to go with their 4th starter, and that's the case here with the Newark Eagles. They defeated the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays, but it took 3 games. And let me double check that. Yes. If a team takes 2 games to win their first round series, they can use their third. There is a day off between the first and second rounds. So after the first game of the second round is played, then you can go back to the top of the rotation. But for now, we got 4 against 3. Laniel Hooker is pitching for the Eagles and stepping into the box to hit for Hilldale. In the bottom of the first is Otto Briggs, a 400 hitter in 1938 in league competition. 32 is a 26 ground ball to second base. Larry Doby has it, throws the first, 1 away. Here's the player manager for the Hilldale Daisies, Frank Warfield. 14 is a fly ball to left field. Bob Harvey has it. There's 2 down. Judy Johnson. 23 is strike 1. Judy Johnson steps out of the box, steps back in. Here's the pitch. Still Johnson's up the bat. Pitch by Hooker. 22 is a base hit for Judy Johnson. He's at first with 2 outs, average speed. Here is Tank Carr, the first baseman. 26 is a base on balls. First and second for Hilldale. That gets the tying run up to the plate. Here in the bottom of the first, that's Biz Mackey, the catcher. And Biz Mackey hit 360 in 1925. Here's the pitch. 45 will be a base on balls. So after retiring the first 2, Hooker is not going to escape without pressure. Bases are loaded. Can Clint Thomas put a quarter in the merry-go-round? Here's the pitch to Clint Thomas. Eagles playing back with 2 outs. 1-6 is a 28. That's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. 6-3. 3 outs. So the Hilldale Daisies load them up, but they strand all 3. We go to the top of the second, 3-0, Newark. Bob Harvey leads off for the Eagles in the top of the second. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field. Otto Briggs is under it and picks it out of the sky. 1 down. Here's the pitcher, Laniel Hooker. 1-5 is a walk. Average speed at first, Pat Patterson. With all these high batting averages, the last thing you want to do is walk the pitcher. Here is Pat Patterson, leadoff hitter for the Eagles. And he was a 308 hitter in 1946. 26 is a swing and a miss, though, strike 3. Curry gets him on a sharp breaking curveball. And there's 2 outs. Here is James Seabiscuit Wilkes. 63 is a fly ball to center field. Clint Thomas is under it and makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the second. Newark 3, Hilldale 0. George Johnson will lead off for the Hilldale Daisies. 22 is a 7. That's a base hit for George Johnson. He's a fast runner at first for Hilldale. No outs, and here is Stevens. They're not going to hit and run. They got a 9 catcher. He's going to sit still for this here. 56 is a 34. That's going to be a pop out to the shortstop. 1 down. Now the pitcher, Black Snake Curry. And as you look at his card, he's not a horrible hitter. Here's the pitch to Curry. 56, though, is a pop out to the shortstop. 2 outs. Top of the order, Otto Briggs. Briggs is 3 for 10 in the series, or in the tournament. 23 is a 26. That's going to be a ground out to second base. They go to short way. 4 to 6. That ends the inning. Top of the third we go. It's the Newark Eagles 3 and the Hilldale Daisies 0. Larry Doby will lead on a very hot tournament. He's 8 for 14, batting over 500. Here's the pitch to Doby. 24 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 away. Monty Irvin. 1-3 is a walk. Second walk given up by Blacksnake Curry. Fast runner at first, and here's Leonard Pearson, who doubled in 2 runs in the first. 34 is a fly ball to center field. Clint Thomas is under it, makes the catch. There's 2 down, and now John Cherokee Davis. 22 is a hit column roll for Davis. He has some power. 61 is a double, and that will drive in Irvin and make it Newark 4, Hilldale 0. Cherokee Davis is 2 for 2 in today's game. Here is Charles Ruffin, who is the temporary manager of the Eagles today. 35 is a 36. Wild pitch that sends Davis to third. With 2 outs, the infield's back. 1-2 is a 25. That's a line drive to the shortstop. Caught by Stevens. That ends the inning, but the Eagles score once. It's 4-0 going in the bottom of the third. Frank Warfield will lead off for the Daisies in the last of the third inning. 6-3 is a fly ball to center field. Caught by Seabiscuit Wilkes, 1 down. Judy Johnson, Hall of Fame third baseman. 1-2 is a ground out to second base. 4-3, taken by Larry Doby. That's 2 outs. And now Tank Carr. 36 is a pop out to second base. 3 up and 3 down for the Hilldale Daisies. We go to the fourth, 4-0 Newark. It'll be Bob Harvey, the pitcher, and then the top of the order to Pat Patterson. Here's the pitch to Bob Harvey. The left fielder, 54, is a fly ball to right field, caught by George Johnson, 1 away. Here's the pitcher, Lemuel Hooker. 26 is a ground ball to third base, 5-3. Judy Johnson makes the play for Hilldale. Top of the order, Pat Patterson, Newark's third baseman. 32 is going to be a roller to second base, 4-3. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Daisies will come to bat, trailing by 4. Here's Biz Mackey leading off for the Hilldale Daisies, a 360 hitter in 1925. This is his first year of regularly starting. Played some shortstop early in his career. He didn't have much range there, but had good hands and was quick. 63 is a fly ball to center field. And Biz Mackey's retired for the first out, bottom of the fourth inning. They're getting some good pitching out of their grade D pitcher, Lemuel Hooker. And the Daisies aren't getting any dice rolls. 44, there's one there. That's a base hit for Clint Thomas. And he is fast at first base. George Johnson. I'm going to try to get something going and hit and run. Here's the pitch to Johnson. 24 is a 13. That's going to be a strike. We'll have to pick for a steal. Catcher is a 9 rated catcher. So 11 through 26, the base stealer Thomas will be out. And anything higher than that, he's going to be safe. 31, he is safe. So Clint Thomas steals second. Strike one on the hitter, George Johnson. Here's the pitch. 23 is a 26. That's a ground ball to second base. Larry Doby throws him out, and meanwhile, Thomas goes to third. 2 outs. Jake Stevens comes to bat. There's 2 away. Stevens is the 8th place hitter, and he was a 250 hitter in 1925. Let's see, Curry was a 143 hitter. Let's see. They're going to walk Stevens. Pitch to the pitcher. So intentional pass. First and third. 2 away. The infield playing back. Here's the pitch to the pitcher, Curry. 64 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. We go to the top of the 5th. Newark 4 and Hilldale 0. Each team has just 3 hits going into the 5th inning. James Wilkes will lead off for the Newark Eagles. 36 is a pop-up to second base. 1 away. That brings up Larry Doby. .53 is a 18, feeling column 1. That's going to be an error on the shortstop Stevens. He's 6. Doby's at first. Fast runner. Monty Irvin. .43 is a 29. Ground out to the pitcher, Curry. He throws the first. Doby goes to second. So Irvin's retired. And now Leonard Pearson. Pearson is 1 for 2 with a double. And in the tournament, he is 3 for 12 with 2 doubles. 42 is going to be a 37. A fly ball to right field. That's the end of the top of the 5th. The Eagles don't score. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-0 Newark. Top of the order for the Hilldale Daisies, based out of Philadelphia. Here's the pitch to Otto Briggs. 36 is the roll. That's a pop out to the second baseman. 1 down. Player manager Frank Warfield. 36 is a walk. Warfield's fast at first base. Here is Judy Johnson, and they're going to hit and run again. Try to get something going offensively. Here's the pitch to Judy Johnson. 3-3 roll. That's a 0. Reroll is a 24. 6. A double to right field for Judy Johnson, scoring Frank Warfield. 4-1. Here is Tank Carr. Tank Carr was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but he grew up on the West Coast of California, making him one of the few Negro League players to grow up on the West Coast. Here's the pitch to Tank Carr. 2-2 roll. That's a hit column roll for Carr. And 23 is a double that will score Judy Johnson. Back-to-back doubles for the Daisies. Cuts the lead in half now. 4-2. That brings up Biz Mackey, a 360 hitter in 1925. He represents potential tying run. Hooker gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Bismacki. 61 is a 24. That's going to be a pop out to the shortstop. One away. That's two outs. Pardon me. And now we have Clint Thomas. Thomas is 1 for 2 with a single and a stolen base. 56 is a high pop fly on the infield taken by Larry Doby, the second baseman. That ends the inning, but on 2 doubles and a walk, the Hilldale Daisies get on the board. It's 4-2, Newark. All right, Newark comes to bat. They got 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the third. They lead 4-2. Cherokee Davis steps in to hit against Black Snake Curry. 64 is a base on balls. Cherokee Davis takes first base by way of a free pass. Catcher Charles Ruffin. He is going to sacrifice. 6-6 roll on a course on a sacrifice. 43 is a 7. That's going to be out at first. First baseman fields the bunt. 3-4. That moves Davis to second, and there's 1 out. Left fielder Bob Harvey. 32 is a 26. That's going to be a ground ball to second base. 4-3, sending Davis to third, but there's 2 outs. And now the pitcher, Linnell Hooker. 36 is a pop out to shortstop. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Newark 4 and Hilldale 2. George Johnson leads off for the Daisies. 35 is going to be a single for George Johnson. Leadoff single, fast runner at first. Here's Jake Stevens. 36 is a pop to the third baseman. And that's caught by Pat Patterson, 1 down. Pitcher, Black Snake Curry. Curry will square around the sacrifice. 46 is a 12. Safe at first on the fielder's choice. 5-6 is the play. So Curry, a slow runner, is at first. Otto Briggs, the batter. 2 down. 46 is a ground out to second base, 4-3. That's the end of the 6th inning. It's the Newark Eagles 4 and the Hometown Daisies 2. The 7th inning is the inning of the point of weakness. If 3 bad things happen to the pitcher, his grade goes down 1 level. Pat Patterson leads off for the Eagles. 61 is the roll. That's a ground ball to shortstop. Fielded by Jake Stevens. Throw to first, 1 down. Here's Seabiscuit Wilkes, fast outfielder for the Eagles. 53 is a 16. Fly out to center field. Clint Thomas makes the play. Larry Doby, having an extremely hot tournament. He is 1 for 3 today, but he came into the game hitting 7 for 13 with 2 homers and a double. So he's 8 for 16, hitting 500 in the tournament. 52 is a ground ball to third base, taken by Judy Johnson. That's 3 outs. We go to the last of the 7th, 4-2 Newark. Negro League teams' pitching staffs were not very deep. Available in the bullpen for Hooker would be Cecil Cole, the great DW pitcher. I think they could get 1 inning out of Max Manning, Dr. Cyclops. He's the number 2 starter in the rotation. So that's about it for the bullpen for the Newark Eagles. Not Paul Warfield, but Frank Warfield. Paul Warfield was a great receiver for the Miami Dolphins. In the NFL, Frank Warfield leads off for the Hilldale Daisies. Point of weakness inning for Lemuel Hooker, 35, is going to be a base hit for Warfield. They'll get the tie and run to the plate. And the middle of the order, Judy Johnson. Judy Johnson is 5 for 10 in the tournament with a triple. Here's the pitch to Johnson. 36 is a pop. Let's see, pop out to third base. One away. And now Tank Carr, who doubled and drove in a run in the 5th inning. 22, that's a hit column roll for Carr. And 44 is a drive. It might be, it could be, it is out of here. A game time 2-run home run by Tank Carr. And we are looking at 4-4 in the 7th inning. It is two bad things to happen to Hooker and might be tiring. Here's Bismacki. 36 is a walk. And actually, Hooker's grade can't go down to below D. So he's tired, but he's not going to be any worse than he normally is. Right here is Clint Thomas. 54 is a fly ball to right field. One away. Leonard Pearson. 32 is a ground ball to second base. 4-3. 2 up and 2 down. Here is John Cherokee Davis. 2 for 2, single, double, and 3 RBIs in the game for Newark. 63 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. So they finally retire Davis. 3 up and 3 down in the 8th inning. Go to the last of the 8th. We're tied 4-4. George Johnson leads off for the Hilldale Daisies. It's a 1-4 roll. That's going to be a fly ball to left field. Caught out there by Bob Harvey, 1 down. Jake Stevens, the shortstop. .33, that's a hit column roll for Stevens. There are no home runs on this card. 26 is a double for Jake Stevens. Here's the pitcher, Black Snake Curry. Maybe, let me think. All right, the Daisies are going to go to the bench, and they're going to bring in Luis Big Bertha Santop to pitch hit for Black Snake Curry. And warming up in the bullpen is Mervyn Red Ryan. We're at second, 1 down. Stevens at second is a fast runner. Here's the pitch from Hooker to Santop. 35 is a 36. That is a wild pitch. And Stevens goes to third. On the ball that goes to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes to Luis Santop. Infield's playing in for Newark. Here's the pitch. 65 is popped up to the shortstop. 2 outs. That brings up top of the order, Otto Briggs. 45 is a walk. Player manager Frank Warfield will come to bat for Hilldale. So Briggs is fast at first. Stevens is at third. First and third, 2 outs. Infield's playing back. Here's the pitch. 1-5 is an 11. That's a single to left field. So Stevens scores. Briggs goes to third. And the Hilldale Daisies take the lead 5-4. All right, he could steal second on the next pitch with an 11 result, but I'm going to have him hold there. We're going to let Judy Johnson hit first and third. Timeout. The Newark Eagles are going to bring in Max Manning to pitch to Judy Johnson. So Laniel Hooker goes 7 2/3 inning, gets up 10 hits, strikes out 1, walks 5. He has given up 5 runs. He's responsible for the 2 on base. Maxwell Dr. Cyclops Manning will be pitching to Judy Johnson. 64 is a 8 against, he's going to be an A pitcher for same-sidedness. So 8 against an A is a fly out to right field. That ends the 8th inning, but the Hilldale Daisies score and take the lead 5-4. Brett Ryan comes out to pitch for the Hilldale Daisies. He's a grade C pitcher, Y and Z modifiers. And Charles Ruffin, the catcher for the Newark Eagles, will lead off the 9th inning for the Eagles, who are 1 run down. All right, here's the pitch to Charles Ruffin. 31 is a 9 against a C. That's going to be a pop out to Judy Johnson at third base. 1 out. The Eagles are down to 2 outs here in game 1. Bob Harvey, the left fielder. 34 is a fly ball to center field. Clip Thomas is under it and makes the catch. Timeout. All right, the Eagles will send up a pitch hitter for Max Manning. That's Charles Hunky Parks. He's got some 1s on his card on the second column. That's kind of what they're looking at. Max Manning did not have a chance to hit a home run. Here's the pitch to Charles Parks. 1-5 is a 8 against a C pitcher. That's going to be a base hit to left center field for the pinch hitter. That takes us to the top of the order, and Pat Patterson, potential go-ahead run. Tyne runs at first. Average speed at first base. Let's see if Newark has a fast man on the bench. They do not. They're all average speed on the bench. Okay, here's a pitch to Pat Patterson. 62 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. That ends game 1. The final score, the Hilldale Daisies 5, Newark Eagles 4. We'll be back with the wrap-up. Okay, the Newark Eagles scored 4 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Hilldale Daisies had 5 runs on 10 hits and they committed 1 error. The winning pitcher was Reuben Blacksnake Curry. 8 innings, 4 earned runs and 4 hits. Ryan got the save. Laniel Hooker is the losing pitcher, 7 2/3 innings and 5 earned runs against Hooker. There was a home run in the game hit by Tank Carr. And let's see, the star of the game would be George Tank Carr, who goes 2 for 3 with a home run, a double, and 3 RBIs. So we'll be back tomorrow with the game 2 of the Eagles and the Hilldale Daisies. I think the Hilldale Daisies are one of the best teams in this tournament. Eagles are no slouches. We'll be back at the top of the rotation. We'll see Nip Winters pitching for Hilldale Daisies and Leon Day for the Newark Eagles. If you like what you see, hit the subscription button and the like button. Thanks for watching. Good day and God bless.